Hey guys, it's Megan, your friendly neighborhood librarian. I'm going to do a read-a-thon. This may be completely crazy because I have a baby and I'm tired. In fact, this is the worst day to start a read-a-thon because I'm already gonna have to have some Monster, but here I am. Okay, ooh, the gold ones are pretty good. They're pineapple flavored. Anyway, 48 hours. I don't know why I picked 48 hours. There's not any other readathons going on. I mean, it's not part of anything. I just kind of am doing it as a test, honestly, to see how much I can read while having a baby at home. I am home for the summer, so that's gonna help. It's not like I have to go to work or anything because I work in a school library, obviously. So I will be able to read anytime the baby is napping. I can pick up a book, and then anytime I have to do a chore, like wash dishes or I've got to fold some laundry, I can be listening to an audiobook. So I think my goal is just to read as much as I can, honestly, to motivate myself to read more, because I do feel like I'm still, I don't know, just distracted a lot and like spending time on my phone and stuff. So I just want to see how much I can read, and this is an experiment. Let's do an experiment and see how much can I read while having a baby. And I'm not going to try to read super fast, and it's not really about the number of books I read. It's just going to be more like pages, I guess, like how many pages will I read, but I'm not going to try to read any faster than I would normally read because I still want to enjoy the books. So let's talk about what I'm going to read. And the first one that I do need to read and hopefully finish during this 48 hours is Raybearer. I've already got a really good start. I'm close to halfway. I am on page 141 out of 343, I believe, so about 200 pages to go. And this book is really good. Oh my gosh, the world building is amazing. It's a young adult fantasy novel. It's one I have to read for school because I'm leading a book discussion on it when we start back in August, because we are doing summer reading at my school, and this is one of the books that kids got to choose from. So I'm leading like a book discussion for the kids that chose this for their summer reading book. And it's so good. I can't believe it. Usually books that you would pick for summer reading are like not the best books, you know, like not the ones that kids would be interested in, but this one is. The world building is fantastic, and honestly though, it kind of takes over the book. I'm not super into the characters. I'm more into the plot and the world, I guess I would say. So I don't know where this book's gonna go, because the synopsis, and I've heard this from many people and it's so true, the synopsis that it tells you about the book, like on the inside dust jacket cover thing, is it happens within the first little bit of the book. And so you're like, well then what's the rest of this book about? Like you don't even know where it's going. And I think that is interesting, because I have no idea. And now that I'm kind of figuring out where it's going, I like the direction that it's going. I guess some people don't, and that's maybe why they don't like it, but I love it. I've heard it's going to be a duology. I know the sequel is called Redemptor. I think it's just going to be the two of them, and I'll definitely be reading the sequel. So I do have to annotate this book as I go, so I'll have my trusty pen in my hand. I've got to come up with discussion questions, so we're going to hope to definitely finish this book. That might be the only book I actually finished, but the other two that I want to get farther into is the third in the Shades of Magic trilogy. I loved Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I did not like the second one. I still liked the writing and like the storytelling and the world and stuff, but the plot was just so slow moving. We all know from my previous videos that I did not care for A Gathering of Shadows. This one is by far the biggest, Conjuring of Light, and it is the conclusion. So far it seems really similar to A Darker Shade of Magic, like it's the same plot all over again. It's like, oh look, there's different Londons, and something evil has escaped from Black London and now is infiltrating other Londons, and it's gonna take over, and it even says like, oh, this is really similar to this thing, and you're like, yeah, okay, well, it's even pointing out the similarities. It's like, okay, so in the second book nothing happened, in the third book it's the same as the first book, so basically you should just read the first book is what I'm gathering. But I'm gonna read it, and I'm on page 112 of this one, so I've got a good start. It is 666 pages, easy to remember because it's weird. And I'm listening to the audiobook for this one. I just like to keep where I'm at though, so I know how far I am. And I'm gonna definitely keep listening to the audiobook anytime during this readathon that I have a free moment of downtime. Like, did the lights just flicker? Did my husband do that? It's possible. He has control over the lights on his phone. That or the lights flickered. I'm not really sure. Okay, the other book that I'm going to try to read a little bit more of is The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. So the first Law trilogy, everyone talks about it. It's all over BookTube, and I love Game of Thrones, we know, so theoretically I'm supposed to like this book. I'm not going to force myself to like it. So far, it's pretty good. Like, it's like a 3 or 4 star book. So far, it's not like the best thing I've ever read. It's no Game of Thrones, but I mean, I'm intrigued enough. I mean, the world's intriguing enough and the characters are intriguing enough. I honestly like that there's no map. All these books, even Ray Bear, you know, they all have maps because these are all fantasy worlds and they all are really complex and you know, complicated. But this one doesn't have a map, and I like it because I don't need to have to refer to it all the time. And there's no appendix at the end that you have to go and look up the word pronunciations, or the, you know, that's what's in Ray Bear, or Game of Thrones, like the, you know, heritage, the ancestry, the family trees at the end. It's like, I just don't need all that right now. So this is actually kind of nice. I'm on page 124 of this one. We're sensing a trend here. I'm a little over 100 pages into all 3 of these books, and I think that's why I want to do a readathon, because I'm kind of just like a little bit into all of them. Right now, I'd say Ray Bear is my favorite, which I would think would have been my least favorite, so that's shocking. But anyway, this one is, of course, epic high fantasy, and it mostly, from what I hear, has no plot. I feel like there's some plot, but it's mostly about, I guess, the characters coming together, and maybe there's going to be more plot in the rest of them. I don't know what the first law is. I know it's called the First Law Trilogy, but they mention that there is a first law. I think it has to do with magic, and don't know what it is yet. There's a character named Glocta who everybody loves, and so far he is pretty funny. He's a torturer. Well, he's called an inquisitor, but really he's a torturer, and he has previously been tortured, so he kind of like doesn't care about anything anymore, and just he's pretty cynical, but also maybe kind of like funny in a dark sort of way. That's what this is supposed to be, Game of Thrones with maybe more dark humor. So this is another one I hope to read. So let's see how I do. So this is a lot. I don't think I'm gonna read this in 48 hours with a baby, but I'm really intrigued to see how much I can read. This is just a test. It's like the emergency broadcast system. This is just a test. I'm gonna continue to drink more of this. Right now it is 2:35. I don't know for sure what time I'm going to start this, but probably when the baby goes down for his next nap, honestly, will be the best time. And I'm going to try to get everything done and ready so that I can prepare. I'm not going to stay up extra or anything like that to do this readathon. I'm just going to go for it. So I will update you when I get started. Okay, here we are. We're ready. We're going to start reading The Blade itself. Well, I mean, I've already started, but this is going to be our readathon. We're going to try to start here right around 3:30. The baby's down for his nap. There he is, totally asleep. Just went down, got a nice view. We kind of fixed up our patio a little bit today. Got a nice umbrella. I've got some dark chocolate that I'm finishing. This is some Ghirardelli. So good, 86%. Okay, here goes. I'm gonna try to read fast on this one because I think it'll be a good way to get into it, a good way to get started. Hype myself up. I've had my caffeine. I can do this. Well, we only had a 30-minute nap, so here we are. Reading concluded. I only got to read about, what, 20, 25 minutes? I didn't read very much, did I, buddy? That's okay. Say hi to YouTube. Say hi. What is that face? What is that face? Yeah, show him your smile. Show him your smile. Yay. Oh, achoo. Achoo. Okay, well, maybe we can read again later. Maybe there'll be another nap, or else you'll go to bed early, and we can read some more. Well, here we are. It's almost 9 p.m. I'm going to bed because I always get up early with the baby, like 5 a.m., 5:30. So I'm headed to bed. I only read 21 pages of this sitting outside. So not too much farther than I was, but I did read 65 pages of this one. So definitely a little further than I was there as well. Counting the part of Ray Bear that I read earlier this morning, not for the reading vlog, but I did read actually 100 pages today, so very exciting. Sorry, I'm very, very tired, so I'm going to bed now. I realized these have the same color scheme now. Interesting. Okay, I'll update you more tomorrow. Wish me luck for the main day. Tomorrow is literally the main day because it's the full day. So, good night. So this is the thing now. We sit up. Yeah, and we talk all the time, don't we? Look at you sitting up there. I mean, you're using your arms, but you're doing it. Good job. You're sitting up all on your own, and you're reading your book. Yeah. You're reading your book. You get to read. You're participating in the Read-a-Thon too. Is that what it is? Oh, why didn't I think of that? You should also be in the Read-a-Thon. Yeah. We're sitting up like a big boy. Look at you. I mean, you're sort of leaning over, but you can hold yourself up now. It's amazing. Good job, buddy. Well, it is a little after noon, 12:20 on Saturday. So this is the full day of the Read-a-Thon, and I have read almost 100 pages now of A Conjuring of Light. I mean, it's an audiobook, so that's definitely the way I'm going to get through books, I'm realizing. So I'm hoping to get at least halfway through this for this Read-a-Thon, maybe more if possible. So the reason why I'm realizing that I'm not a huge fan of this book is because the first book had so much potential. Like, they could have done so much with the 4 different Londons. Like, why aren't we seeing even Grey London at this point would be more interesting than Red London. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Because in Grey London, there's like a new king and he wants magic. And I thought that was going somewhere and they never mentioned that again. So I'm like, where'd that go? Of course, that was in book 2. But anyway, I thought that would be a plot point. I thought that Kel's backstory would be a plot point because it's like, oh, he's adopted, but he doesn't know anything about the past. He can only remember up to a certain age, you know, at a certain age. So like, where'd he come from? Who are his parents? How did he wind up there? So, I mean, why aren't we learning more about that? It's like the only things that are interesting are things that we are not learning about. So, or more about White London, more about Black London even. Black London's fascinating. Why is the plot of this book the same as basically book 1? It's your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. So that's where we are with Conjuring of Light. I'm just mad at it. It's still good writing and everything, but oh my gosh, it had so much potential. I just don't care about what's happening. Like, nothing's happening. Ray Bear is still really good. I'm almost done with part 2, so I'm going to try to finish part 2 right now. And I'm getting decently close to halfway done with it. So I read a little bit this morning, and I'm going to go read some more. The baby is down for his nap. What time did he fall asleep? He fell asleep right about 12, I guess. Yeah. So he's been asleep about 20 minutes. So fingers crossed, it'll probably be at least another hour, probably a big hour and a half nap. So I'm going to go read right now. Wish me luck. Okay, so we're halfway through. It's actually 4:25, so technically an hour ago was halfway through this 24-hour or 48-hour readathon. I've obviously not read that much, but I'm learning kind of how to read more. You just have to, I guess, be committed. Like, I've definitely read at least 100 pages today, so that's exciting. And the baby just went down for his third and final nap of the day because he usually just has 3 naps. So, and then he'll still go to bed around like 7:30, so I can read some more tonight. But I made a lot of progress in Ray Bear, and it's so good. It's so good. I got to what I think is the climax of the novel. The true climax, like kind of old school Shakespearean style, where the climax is literally in the middle of the play, like the act 3 of 5 or whatever. This is kind of like that, and I couldn't believe what happened because the thing that, you know, she wasn't supposed to do, like, she did it, and I was like, well, what's gonna happen now? Like, this is crazy. And now it's like an adventure novel. Now she's off in the jungles and stuff, and I don't know, it's like Tomb Raider up in here or something, but it's not what I expected. So it's really good. And I'm gonna continue reading probably this, well, I don't know. I'm so into this one, so I don't know. Maybe I should keep with this one and then do the Blade itself. I don't know. I don't know when I should read which one, but I guess if I'm into this one, I should continue with this one. So I probably will. Also, just to let you know, this is my fuel to get me through for right now. I've never tried Dr. Pepper with cream soda, but here we are. So let's try it together. I just poured a little bit just to see. Oh. It's exactly what you'd imagine. It's Dr. Pepper with cream soda. Man, the ice already waters it down just instantly. I'm just gonna drink it without ice, even though it's not cold. Hope it'll be a little more flavorful. I'm also gonna try, this is my snack. So everybody says to get a good snack for a readathon. So this one is Duo's Bacon and Cheddar Cheez-Its. So let's try this one. Sorry, this is gonna be really noisy for a second. Okay. I mean, they look like normal Cheez-Its. Maybe a little bit different. Oh, they smell. I like bacon. What a surprise. Okay. Mmm. Very bacon. Very, very bacon. What's the other one? Cheddar? It's good. This will get me through. Yup. Nom, nom, nom. That's what I do with the baby. Nom, 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 nom. Now I just have to eat like that because he thinks that that's what eating is, I guess. I'm gonna go, I guess, read some more Ray Bear. Hey guys. Hello, Internet. My name is Ash. Okay. So I just want to give you a reading update. Here, baby. Here, take your weird little toy thingy. Okay. We have A Conjuring of Light. We are on page 240. So that's exciting. We've made definitely the most progress in this book, but probably because it's an audio book. But we are making a lot of progress in Ray Bear as well. I got to such a good part last night. And it's finally a lot of like exposition, so I kind of know more what's going on. I'm on page 211 of this one. I've not made much progress in, I've not read any more since the last time in the First Law trilogy, the Blade itself. But I think, where are you going? What are you doing? What are you doing, baby? So I think I'm gonna pause on the First Law for a little while. Just because I'm so much more interested in this book. So I'm gonna just keep reading this one because I want to. So he's about to go down for a nap and I'm gonna go start getting him sleepy in about 5 minutes. So, and then I'm going to read. So wish me luck. Oh, and my husband's reading. He's been reading the 9th Dresden Files book and he's got a decent start. I think he's like 30 pages in now. So, you know, his read-a-thon's not going so well, but Ash has read the most. He's already read like 5 books. So he's doing pretty good. Well, here we are at the end of the vlog. We did it. We survived. I did not really read very much in these 48 hours, but that was the test. And honestly, I've realized that if I could just read 100 pages a day, I think I'd be really happy because I didn't even read 100 pages a day before I had the baby, unless I was really in like a reading mood. So I've learned that I can at least do that because I read over 100 pages a day for both days that I did this. So let's talk about what I read and how much I actually did. I only read 21 pages of this book. So I guess I'm just not super into it because I didn't really have the urge to read it. I read the most of this one. I read 145 pages of this one, and that was audiobook. So obviously I'm going to get through a lot more reading audiobooks than anything else, but I'm getting close to halfway with this one. And then finally, Ray Bear was, of course, my favorite one. Oh yeah, the other two, like I said, Blade itself, I guess, is just okay. Like, I'm intrigued, but I'm just not really caring yet. This, it's like, oh my gosh, this is still so disappointing. Like, why are these things happening? And there's nothing happening, and it's boring. And it's like, oh no, so-and-so, let's go save them. They almost died. And oh no, now so-and-so's almost dying. And it's like, there were no stakes in book 2, and now the stakes are trying to be ridiculously high in book 3, and like, I just don't care, but I'm powering through it. And then Ray Bear is by far the best one of these books. I am really intrigued and can't wait to go finish it. In fact, I'm going to keep reading right now as soon as I finish this vlog because the baby's asleep, but it is past the time. It's almost 4 o'clock, so 3:25 approximately was 48 hours, so I can't count that in my reading. If only the baby had taken a longer afternoon nap today. I bet he's gonna take a longer nap right now, sadly. Anyway, I read 96 pages of this book, and I'm almost to like the last part of it. I've almost got just 100 pages left. We're very close, so that's really exciting, and this one is definitely the best one. I'm so into this book. I've enjoyed annotating it. I'm not writing like tons in the margins, but I actually did not think that I would enjoy that, but because I only do that, you know, when I have to for school. But it's actually been pretty fun, and I'm getting a lot more out of the book, honestly, that way. So I can't wait for the sequel for this. I will definitely buy it. I highly recommend this, even if you don't think you're gonna like it, because I didn't think I was gonna like it. I don't really like young adult fantasy novels because they're never very good, but this one is not what you expect. I honestly would go into it not even thinking it's a young adult novel. Besides the fact that the protagonist is a young adult, like, it doesn't matter. The rest of the world is so rich and complex, and the world building is so good, and the storytelling is so good that, like, it could be an adult novel. Anybody could read this. This could be for anyone. So don't go into it thinking it's just specifically for young adults, because I don't think that it is. So that gives me a total of 262 pages read / listen to. There was a time where, like last night, I could have read for another hour to an hour and a half and got through quite a bit more, like at least 300 pages, but I was tired, and I guess that's part of it. You know, how much can I realistically read and not be tired? So there are just some times where I'm just not going to want to read. There's sometimes I'm going to want to use my Theragun instead, which I'm going to go do in just a minute. There are times when I'm going to want to just sit and watch a video. So I've learned a lot, and I've learned that I can read more, and that I really just need to rely on audiobooks, and that once he goes down for the nap, just get started right away. It always takes me so long to get started. I'm like, man, he's already been asleep, 20 minutes or something. Like just now, he's already been asleep, what? Okay, like 7 minutes, so that's not bad. So hopefully I can get started, a little bit quicker this time. So that's what I've learned from this. I am pretty happy with it. Like I said, I kind of hoped I'd read more. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I thought I'd finish all 3 of these books. That didn't happen. So yeah, anyway, it was just a test. Now we know you can read 262 pages with a baby. I mean, I'm sure there are people that could read more, but I did not read any of the time that he was awake. I could have tried to listen to audiobooks like on our walks, but I really like to talk to him while we're walking. I could have asked my husband to watch the baby a little bit, but so that I could read. But I really wanted this to be a true test of how much can I read in 48 hours when he's napping, so that I could do this on a regular basis. So I think if I aim for 100 pages a day, that would be a good goal. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully if you have a baby, maybe this was enlightening for you too. I don't know. If you do, I'm really intrigued to see how much other people have read when they have kids. So, and I'm out of school for the summer, so this makes it a lot easier that I could do this any day. But I guess when school starts back, it's just going to be a little bit in the morning, a little bit at night, and the weekends will be all I have time to read. So anyway, all right, thanks guys for watching. Bye.